Rest in peace, the Prince of Darkness, the godfather of heavy metal, Ozzy Osbourne. We love you out there, brother. We're going to miss you here. Good day, Sir Blasphemy here for Sir Blasphemy's Travels. I hope you guys are doing well out there, and I hope you're having the days you deserve. So here we are again, a little bit of a slower paced video. Getting geared up, though, for the Renaissance fairs that I will be heading to soon, which you guys know, of course, I'll be out there at the Texas Renaissance Festival, then Sherwood Forest Fair. I had a gap here. I wasn't expecting to have a gap here for the summer, but it looks like next summer I should be all right. I thought I would be elsewhere in the moment, so I'm just having trouble trying to make some videos that would entertain you guys or be informative, so I kind of thought of something for you, so that's what I'm going to do in this video. So I know a lot of patrons out there like to come to Renaissance fairs and are curious, prices increase or decrease, or some people out there haven't really frequented Renaissance fairs that often, or some have never done it and are curious about, what, not only what it's like, but what the prices are for certain items. And I thought I would focus more in this video about prices and things like that, what you can count on going to your first Renaissance fair, or just not being as familiar with it. Maybe there's gaps in between the last time you went to a Renaissance fair or something in that nature. So before I continue, first of all, guys, I would love for you guys to like, subscribe, tickle that bell for future notifications, comment. Always comment back 100% of the time. I would greatly appreciate that. Also, really quick, before I get on with this video, I think I've told you guys this before, I will have an expanded menu out at the Texas Renaissance Festival this season, along with the great Belgian chocolate that you guys are used to getting from me. I will also be having gelato now, and I will also be serving some drinks too as well. And so they're 29 and up, gosh, I can't speak right now, 21 and up drinks, but they're not alcohol based, so you may want to come see me out at the fair this season, so this 2025 season. So anyway, I wanted to throw that out at you. I may also have a booth, a different booth location, or I might still be in the same spot. I'm trying to see if I can purchase a booth right now. I'm seeing what's going on with that. I'll keep you guys updated. If not, I'll be in the same spot that you guys can always find me. So anyway, all right. So now, so you've never been to a Renaissance fair, or you're not, you don't go to them enough to know these things, and you kind of want to know what to expect. Well, what you can expect is, of course, fair prices. It's like anything else. You go to, maybe with the exception of like a concert where those prices are bloated, but at a fair, you can still expect to pay just a wee bit more than you would on the outside of a fairground. You know what I mean? So, first thing I would recommend doing is most fairs are pretty much cash all the way around. Now, as of late, the past few years, almost every fair that I do, now you can do cash and card mostly, but still some fairs that own, like, let's say, for instance, their concessions and things like that, only want to deal with cash. So, that's something to think about. So if I was going to do it, of course, bring your card, but, prepare to bring cash. Make sure you got enough to get through the day. Plan your day accordingly. Also, most fairs will let you enter, go in and come out. So you can even go out if you want to save some money and have a lunch, maybe have a, drink and relax out in the parking lot or wherever you're at. If you're camping somewhere at a fair, you can go do that too as well. So it's something to think about. But for those of you that are just coming by for like a day trip or something like that, bring a little bit of cash, bring your debit card too, just in case, but bring some cash, because you're probably going to get thirsty out there, especially if it's a hot day or whatever. You might get a little tired, you're going to get a little hungry, so and the food at Renaissance fairs are pretty darn good. It's not bad. So some of the prices that you can expect to pay, I'm going to give you guys just kind of an idea. So I'm going to give you a roundabout, because it varies from fair to fair, right? And I won't pick on any fairs high prices. I'm just going to give you a price range of where I've seen the prices at fairs be for certain popular items. So for instance, pickles. For instance, I've seen pickles anywhere from $3 to $6 at most fairs, even up to $8 too. So there's always the pickle wagons you can look for. You know, again, your price range is going to be from $3 to maybe $8, but mainly $3 to $6 usually. You know, if you're looking at beverages, drinks, water prices can vary depending on the fare. Again, this is all variances in fares and prices, but you can expect for water, just a little bottle of water, you can expect to pay $2 to $5 even for a bottle of water. So that's something to think about. You know, soda and you know, whatever, you know, I don't know, lemonades and things like that, they can vary too as well. They can be anywhere from $3 to $7. It can range in there, and maybe some people out there could correct me. It could be even a little bit more. It just depends. You know, alcoholic beverages, you know, they vary. So let's say, for instance, you're going for mead. Maybe you're trying to get some mead, get your buzz on or something like that while you're out at a fair. Mead can be a variation. It can be anywhere from, I don't know, I've seen it, you know, depending on the size of the cup. So I'll just, again, variances. From $6 all the way up to maybe $12 a cup. It could be more. Some of my mead friends could maybe get on here and tell you a little bit more about it. You can even buy a bottle of mead, again, depending on the place, $30 to $35 for a bottle. So, and usually that's cash. Some places do take card. Again, depends on the fare. And turkey legs. Who doesn't come to fairs and not want to get a turkey leg? Turkey legs, I've seen prices now, they range from $12 to $19. And it just depends. It might be a good sized turkey leg, but yeah, you can expect to pay either about $12 to, again, I'm saying it over and over again, but depending on the fare, $12 to $19 for a turkey leg. You got steaks on a stick. Those can range from $9 to $12, I've seen. Sausage on a stick, same kind of price, $9 to $12, maybe even a little bit cheaper. I've seen them for like $7.50 and things like that too as well. So, and I mean, it just goes on and on, guys. I mean, there's a lot of fairs. Some fairs have like Chinese food, and although the portions might not be very big, you kind of do pay a fair price, you know, for like, you know, chicken, rice, and, you know, and veggies for a small plate might cost you, you know, $9, $10, $11, $12 even. So, you know, it's something to think about. You know, sweets and things like that, you know, it just depends on the sweets. You know, cookies out there can range, again, depends on size of the cookie, but you can get a cookie, you know, a decent sized cookie, you know, $2, $3, or you can get a, you know, a bigger cookie, $5, $6. There's cheesecake, there's sweets, there's all kinds of things at fairs that you can be prepared for. So like my gelato, I'll tell you the prices when you come see me. You'll see them when you're there. I'm going to have my gelato at fairs, so you can come see me for those sweets. But this is just to kind of give you an idea. I know this isn't a real in-depth video. It's nothing that's, you know, extremely helpful, but it gives you an idea of what you could spend in a day. Then there's things like shows. Always be ready to tip. You know, the performers, that's how they survive, by the way. You're going to want to sit maybe with your family or your friends, whatever the case may be. Sit down and see a show. You know, a couple of bucks, $2, $3 is great. You know, 5s and 10s are always appreciated. But hey, a couple of bucks for a show, you know, that you could sit, you know, and watch for 30 minutes to an hour is always a great thing. You know, and that's up to your leisure. You don't have to tip if you don't want to, but it's strongly recommended. That's how these guys and girls make their livings, and so it's a good idea to do so. I'm trying to think, you know, like rides and stuff for kids. It can be anything, you know. I mean, there's, you know, and at Renaissance fairs, of course, everything is kind of, you know, man-powered, literally, like, you know, men and women, you know, pushing a swing or things like that. Or you know, you throw axes, or you can shoot bows. You can even sword fight at some of them. And so prices for all of that can, depending on what the activity is or depending on what the ride is, could be anywhere from $3 to all the way up to, you know, $15. You know, it just depends on it. If you go into like, what do they call them? Like, you know, like escape rooms and things like that. Fairs have that kind of thing. You know, that could be a little bit more. That could be $20, $25. So again, you know, just giving you a basic kind of, if you're a patron and you are going to your first Renaissance fair, or you're, again, like I said in the beginning of the video, or you know, don't go that often, you kind of forget what it's like. That's pretty much the prices of things. There's so many more things that people sell, you know, chocolate stuff like I do. There's chocolate treats in there. And again, you know, your price ranges stay in food. You know, if you're looking at just food, you know, basics, it ranges, you know, anywhere from 8 to, you know, could be up to $20, you know, per person for something, in that ballpark. If you're looking at sweets, it's kind of the same thing, maybe a little bit less for certain other sweets. You know, alcoholic beverages, of course, are going to be a little bit higher. But again, it's going to be still fall in that kind of that price range. And depending on how many you have that day or how much you eat that day, you know, you can kind of come to the conclusion of what you can expect to spend. I would say probably a good Faire day. If you're by yourself, you could probably have a great Faire day under, you know, 50, 60 bucks, maybe 40 bucks, something like that. That's with a couple of beverages and something to eat and, you know, I don't know, you know, just whatever. Checking out a couple shows or something like that. Maybe with the family, expect to bring, you know, I would bring $100, between 100 and 200 bucks. Not that you're going to spend all the 200 bucks, but you might get there and find that there are things that you want to do while you're there, that you weren't expecting. You know, there's always that at Renaissance fairs. But, you know, guys, and at Renaissance fairs, there's everything you can imagine as far as food goes. Again, depending on the fair and how big it is. You know, you've got ice cream, you've got, you know, all kinds of desserts. There's usually, you know, teas, and there's coffee, and there's, you know, and again, coffee, expect to pay similar Starbucks prices, basically, for coffees there. So think about it that way. So if you're used to Starbucks, think about that at a fair. Anyway, but yeah, coffees, there's going to be sodas and water and beers and you know, wine and mead, you know, and all kinds of stuff that you can get. There's going to be, you know, not just turkey legs, you know, even though Renaissance fairs are known for that. But there's places that'll cook you full-blown meals, you know, that you can go inside, sit down. You know, you can get, you know, shepherd's pie. You can get, you know, I know that's very Renaissance-y, but you can actually sit down. You can get steak and you can get potatoes. It just depends. There are barbecue places all throughout, for instance, like the Texas Renaissance Festival. You can go get a steak, sausage. You know, you can get hamburgers, whatever. It just depends. And a good steak, I think, is about, you know, 18, 20 bucks, you know, at a fair. A good-sized steak and, you know, and a good plate of greens and mashed potatoes. So it's not like you're just going to be stuck to maybe like hot dogs or something like that. There is almost anything that you can think of that you can go, you know, to a restaurant row somewhere downtown in a major city. You can get in a Renaissance fair, depending on the Renaissance fair. But most Renaissance fairs have caught up, and there's a variety of food. And you can sit down and you can dine, or you can sit outside, or you can walk around. You can do that at your leisure. But anyway, that's basically all I wanted to do. I know it's a simple, boring video for some of my subscribers and stuff like that kind of look for more in-depth stuff. But I thought I would do just something simple. It came across my mind. I had a question about that from somebody I knew. And I was like, you know, I'll just make a quick little video about, hey, how much money should you bring to a Renaissance fair? So that's pretty much it, guys. That's all I got for you on this round. I wanted to do something short and sweet. I hope you enjoyed it. I got to keep the YouTube-ish going. I'm almost at 750 subscribers. Trying to get to 800, guys. Please keep watching. Please keep doing all those things. I thank you guys so much. I appreciate it. So anyway, that's it for me on this video. So until the next one, guys, I thank you again, and we'll see you soon. Sir Blasphemy, out.